gentlemen, it's the Stephanie Miller Show.
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, it's time to feel good. Hey, all right now, it's time to feel good.
It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Nobody say anything inappropriate. That's for later in the show. Right now, we have a esteemed United States Senator on the phone. Senator Debbie Stabenow joins us now from the great state of Michigan. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Stephanie. How are you?
I am fine, and I'm going to make sure that any inappropriate material is spaced far enough away from your visit that you will not be associated in any way.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. It's been a while, but
gotta watch out the image,
Yes, yeah. It has been a while, but as usual, it is always startling when we find that a United States senator is actually doing something on behalf of the American people. And so it was brought to our attention that you're actually doing something about American jobs. Tell us about. So this is the bill is called. Well, you said when basically your quote was when China and Japan cheat, Michigan workers and businesses lose. So
right.
Explain what that is. It's a bipartisan currency manipulation bill. Tell us what this is.
It's kind of, when you say currency manipulation, everybody's eyes glaze over. But basically what it means is that other countries, particularly what we're focused on is China and Japan, will devalue their money, their currency, in a way so that in the foreign exchange market they get a cheaper price. So when they sell to us, they're getting a discount on the price, not because anything costs less, but because of the value of their money. And so, for instance, on cars trying to go to Japan or come to us, Toyota can get up to an $11,000 extra profit on a car just because of the way they manipulate their currency. It's wrong. It's cheating. The international community has all said it's wrong. Nobody should do it. But it's the one area that we do not enforce under trade policy. So, for instance, the Obama administration, I think, has been very good. Yesterday, again, they took China to the WTO for cheating, basically for trade violations and a number of things. All good. But we have yet to see currency manipulation as a trade violation. And it's one of the biggest ways that we see countries cheat, particularly China and Japan.
Right. Well, now, let's see. And your colleagues, Sherrod Brown, a Democrat, and Jeff Sessions, Republican, are also. So, I mean, it's so seldom we actually hear the word bipartisan anymore that anything is getting done.
I know. And think about the philosophical differences. I mean, we have Chuck Schumer and myself and Sherrod Brown, Lindsey Graham, Jeff Sessions, who certainly has been on, we don't vote together a lot.
Right, yes, I've heard this.
Everybody is coming together and saying, wait a minute, I get we're in a global economy, but the goal is to export products, not our jobs. And if we don't get our handle around this, if we don't deal with this particular way that other countries are cheating, it means we're exporting jobs, not products. And that's really the bottom line.
And I read something that you said that because sometimes I do need like a little tutorial from you, as you know. But I understood it better with this line. You said too often when consumers buy automobiles, tires, appliances, or furniture made in countries like China and Japan, the price seems like a bargain. However, consumers are actually seeing a cheaper price because foreign governments subsidize their products by keeping their currency undervalued. Because of this, these countries can undercut Michigan manufacturers and put them out of business because of unfair competition. So then I was like, I see how it works.
It's like it's not they're manipulating. When we go through exchange on currency, on money, they're basically undercutting us on the value, and it makes it look like their product's cheaper. It's not actually cheaper.
Right. By the way, has any of your Republican colleagues ever thanked the president for saving the American auto industry? No? Fruit basket, a card?
I'm not. I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head. And thank goodness he was with us, as you know, understood that we need an American automobile industry. Well, we've got to make things in this country if we're going to have an economy. We don't have an economy unless you have a middle class. It's not the reverse. It's not, as you know, trickle down, give everything to the folks at the very top, and then everybody else goes off their hands and waits for it to trickle down, which we know doesn't work. It is about a middle class economy. If you have a middle class, then you have a growing economy. It's not the reverse.
By the way, I wanted, on another subject, I love this. House Speaker John Boehner employed Senate Democrats yesterday to get off their ass and help the Senate majority advance a bill that funds the Department of Homeland Security while defunding President Obama's recent executive actions on immigration. I mean, it really is incredible, isn't it, at a time when we're going through this ISIS and all the terrorism around the world, that they are happy to shut down the Department of Homeland Security over,
You're right. I mean, Stephiane, we have terror threats all around us. We just had a situation in Michigan, on the Lake Michigan, at a Coast Guard headquarters, where actually there was there was attacks there on people. And the initial response was that it was domestic terrorism, and they're still checking it out. But we're talking about, they're holding hostage border and customs security, airport security, the Coast Guard. I mean, everything that's about American Homeland Security, just to play politics. It'd be very easy for them to fund Homeland Security and then have a separate bill dealing with what they view as wrong about the president's immigration policy. We could debate it. We could vote up or down. But this is an extension of Ted Cruz's philosophy, that we ought to shut everything down if you don't get what they want. And so we are saying no. We are, and there is, the entire Democratic caucus in the Senate is unified. Everyone saying, we are not going to play politics with this. We are not going to let you hold Homeland Security hostage. We need to pass this. We have, I think it's 16 days now before the funding runs out. And, we got to pass this. Then we're happy. They're in charge. They can bring up whatever bill they want. Whatever immigration bill that they want. But the craziness is that you listen to somebody like Ted Cruz, and it's like he's more afraid of the Dreamers than he is of ISIS.
Yeah. One can only imagine what he would have called President Reagan's amnesty, which was actually amnesty.
Right.
Unlike President Obama's order, which is, honestly, I think in so many ways, like, so mild in terms of what we need to do overall in comprehensive immigration reform, right?
Well, basically what he has done is just been a better priority to who you enforce against. And it's common sense. He's saying, look, start with the criminals. Start with the folks that are really a threat to people in the United States. So if somebody's broken the law, if somebody's a criminal, then you enforce against them first. Not the mom with two kids. That's trying to just take care of her family. You start with the criminals, and that's a pretty common sense approach, I think.
Yeah. On another front, Senator, before you go, so the president obviously sent a request. It was formally authorized war against ISIS because we've had this heartbreaking situation, which is only the latest, of this young American girl. Killed by ISIS. So, so the request authorizes the president to fight ISIS for 3 years with no restriction on where U.S. forces go. What is your take on that?
Well, I'm going to look at it very carefully and thoughtfully, and I did not vote. I was one of the 23 members in the Senate that did not vote to go into Iraq, and that was a very tough decision. But every day I know this was the right decision.
Yeah, also.
But this is.
By the way, it must be particularly tough for you knowing that there would be no ISIS if other people had followed your vote on Iraq. But sorry, just wanted to.
We took the lid off the genie bottle here. Well, I shouldn't say we. I didn't vote for it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was. There's no question here that the destabilization started. Unfortunately, it's a very tragic decision there. But but on this is more complicated. I don't want something open-ended. Obviously, I think that the president's focus on building a coalition is actually beginning to really pay off in terms of others in the region stepping forward. The only way this works is if the Jordanians continue to step forward, the Saudis, others, to protect their own people, their own countries, to get engaged. So it's, I think that's important and that's good. In terms of our boots on the ground, I'm going to take a close look at it, but, it's a very tough decision for me, because that's certainly the last thing I want to see happen.
I did not. Sorry that I interrupted you to compliment you, but it was a very important compliment.
Yeah. Oh well. Thank you.
Senators.
Well, it's, these are tough decisions, and by the way, I do not in any way mean to say that ISIS is not. These people are crazy. They're dangerous. It's not about whether or not we need to, fully do everything we can to make sure that we are stopping these guys. It really is about what's the smartest way to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we said before, sadly, that just beyond horrific video of them executing the Jordanian pilot, I think inflamed, obviously, the entire Muslim world in Jordan. I mean, you can see what these people are.
Yeah.
They burned to death a fellow
they
Muslim.
Want attention. They want it. I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So, but we've got to make sure we're being smart about it. And I know that's what the president and his team is really trying to do. This is not just this is not a movie. This is a real serious thing that involves thoughtfulness.
Yep.
So.
Senator Stabenow, you always class up this joint beyond. We can do so much lowbrow stuff now because you've raised the bar so high.
Always great to talk to you. You're doing great.
And thanks for your great work in the Senate and taking time to talk to us about it. We will talk to you again real soon.
Okay, terrific.
All right, thanks, Senator. Thanks. There she goes, Senator Debbie Stabenow.
Yeah,
kind of awesome.
Yeah,
really awesome.
What she's doing on a show way down here, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, we need to have. This is good. We have a commercial break. We need a gap.
Yes.
Because as my show has been described, Senator Fart Joke. Senator
Fart Joke.
But now we don't have that many senators. It's more just
Fart Joke.
Right. Okay.
Like you said, it's like the Flintstones background where it's rock, tree, rock, tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Except Senator Fart. Senator Fart. Okay.
Right.
And Dino Badal coming up on the big show.
Yes.
Jackie Scheckner and actress and activist Tashina Arnold live in studio.
Right over there.
Hour number 3. She's also will star in the Happy Hour podcast.
Yep.
With us. Her triumphant return to the Happy Hour podcast. And it's it's all very exciting. And
it is.
Also, thank you everybody for buying OMG. Best of Stephanie Miller's Happy Hour Volume 1.
Available on iTunes.
Reverend Sharpton gave a shout-out to yesterday when I was on Politics Nation on MSNBC, rocketing up the charts on iTunes.
Sweet!
Get it. Go do it. Mama thanksy. Okay, 19 minutes after the hour, this... Oh, that was trending on Twitter, me taking over for Jon Stewart at The Daily Show. Thank you, Bob Seska. I think he started it.
He did.
And then I was up drunk flirting with him and tweeting. Drunk flirt tweeting.
Are you still drunk?
Yes, I am. Yes,
All right.
I am. Yes, I am.
That's a good thing.
It's going to be a good Wednesday
and also,
show.
Do you have my cheesy butter commercial music?
Yes.
Well, that's what the hubbub is about. There's something more exciting happening even before the show starts. And that is... The Best of Stephanie Miller's Happy Hour comedy album is available for sale right now.
Yes.
What?
Yes. It just went live on
iTunes.
Yes.
Go get it on iTunes.
Go get it. Go get it because, as you know, Sexy Liberal Comedy Album was #1 on iTunes, Amazon, and Billboard.
Let's make that happen, people.
Do it. Let's make that happen.
Do it.
And then Mom will be taking over at The Daily Show any second, I'm sure.
Do it.
As soon as we have the #1 comedy album.
Yes.
Once again, for the second time.
I think it will be available on other platforms, but right now we only got word that it's available on iTunes.
I'm trying to find something that's very important because Chris LeBoy.
What? What'd I do? What? Huh?
Chris LeBoy did a lot of work on putting this together.
He slaved away over the Christmas holiday while you were
I spent my Christmas holiday doing this.
While you were biking down volcanoes.
Okay. So, because even if you have the Happy Hour podcast or video cast, this is the best of. And you need it, right? For
the bon mots.
Working out.
They're like little comedy truffles.
Hiking in your car, wherever it is.
And each one has a glorious red